break, because I'm talking to Deborah, when she gets more prizes, a 30-minute free phone consultation if you want to follow up with me and really talk turkey about doing your next event for whatever reason. Whether it's a workshop, whether it's just a small team building event you want to do, or if it's a big full-out summit and gala, we can talk. I'm also going to, I put on your placemats the Live Your Legacy survey. If you wouldn't mind, I want to help promote you and your business and your website as well. And I'm looking for some really great rate reviews. If you liked me, fill it out. If you didn't, please just, no kidding. That's not for you then. Fill it out, give it back to me. And if I, throughout the year, I'll choose different ones to promote on my website, promote on social media. It'll include your name, your title, your company, and your website link. So thank you for that. If you decide to do it, just make sure you give it back to me before we leave. Okay. Secrets to hosting successful and profitable events, workshops, and conferences all year long. Y'all know my summit is called the Live Your Legacy Summit. I started it in 2011, and this year in 2016, just 4 years later, I'm on my 10th one. Yay! Each one having about 150, last year having 175 people. The numbers isn't so much the goal. That's a different subject. We're talking about your minimum for your hotel or whatever. But what value do you give and did I give to the community and the people you serve is first and foremost. So I'm going to answer your frequently asked questions, but first I'm going to answer these 3 top questions I get a lot. When people come up to me after my summit and have had a great time and say, well, I really loved it, and I give a lot of kudos to people that come, are wonderful. So you all get my utmost round of applause if you come. You make the event great. My speakers are fabulous. My honorees, they're all wonderful. I feel like I'm the ringleader and conductor, but that is a vital part to make everything run successfully. Because back in the day when I met my mentor and coach, Tori, she said, why aren't you doing women's events? Because I was on TV doing a TV show. I said, because why would I want that job? I was a speaker, and every time I went to women's events, most of them were frazzled, low attendance, they're blaming speakers, why didn't they bring the people? Where are the people they said they'd be here? I don't want their job. Why would I do that to myself? And she goes, no, they're not doing it right, and I will show you how to do it right. So tip number 1, if you've never done it before or you're having frustration, get a coach, and only take advice from people who are where you want to be. That goes with anything. Do not take advice in any subject, any matter, any time from somebody that's a wannabe or that thinks they have the answer but they've never done it. That's key. So I knew Tori had already done successful events, very successful, very big time on bottom line, making money with it as well, because if you make money, you can do more. If you go in the whole $20,000, when's the next time you're going to do an event that help people and help your community? So you've got to, be able to, whether your goal is to break even or make a profit, if you're not doing at least that, why would you do more? It's just, you got to be broke. It's not going to be for anybody. So the 3 top questions I get is why hold events, and who should never host them, the top 5 mistakes many event hosts make, and how to get your ideal people to attend and bring friends. All right, number 1. Why hold events and who should never host them? First question an event host should always ask, and be completely honest with themselves. You don't tell anybody else. Events are not for the faint of heart. How many of you ever figured that one out? Okay? You're not going to do it just for fun, and do not do it. Ask yourself these questions. Are you doing it for the money you could make on it? Are you doing it to build your brand recognition? Or to sell your product and services to the attendees? Or to gather people in your industry and other industries to learn and network together? Or is it all of the above? If it is, that's great. It can be all of the above. That's perfectly fine. But if your main event, your main focus, your main reason why you're going to do an event, especially a large one, thinking I'm going to make fast money, and it's going to be profitable, think again. Unless you're going to do it right and you have a coach, I'm telling you that, really, because you can, like I did. I was very successful day 1 because I had somebody say, here, take my hand and I will follow you and help you. And it was a 4-month daily ordeal, and I was willing to put in the work, everything she told me to do, everything, and not expect anybody else around me to do anything. Because the first responsibility, the main responsibility always falls on the host. And you'd be surprised how many times I've gone to events as a speaker. I speak tons and tons all year long. And when I hear the host say, I can't believe the speakers didn't bring anybody, I want to throw her out the window. Or him. speak all week long, all month long. Their job isn't to promote your event. They'll support it, that's great, do a shout out, a like, but they're not there all month long just thinking about your event and how many tickets they can sell. That's the host's job. Speakers add value to your event, and the host should be thankful and gracious that that speaker is giving them their time to help you sell the tickets because of their name and their knowledge they bring to the table. So I get that, and so never ever do that, of course. Okay, now, but if you have a great mission statement and a great purpose for holding events that give great value, write down the word value. Underline it, exclamation point it. What value are you giving to your attendees? What is your reason for doing it for the specific demographics you have? What's the value if you're having vendors that you give to the vendors? Your responsibility to them to make sure there's people there. Make sure there's people there. Again, it's going to fall on you, and we'll talk about that in a second. What is the value for the speakers? If you're going to give great value to your attendees, your vendors if you have them, your sponsors and your speakers, then yes, host a great event. You can do it. It is a lot of fun, a lot of work. But if you're not afraid of work, old-fashioned work, old-fashioned, anybody remember what a telephone looks like? Okay, you have to get reacquainted with that because you're going to need one. Because one thing we've lost in this social media day and age, where social media is wonderful. Hey, Periscope, yay, love you. But you've got to remember that personal interaction. We still love a phone call. We still love a phone call that says, hey, Shirley, I'm doing an event. I would really love your support. Can we support each other? How can I help you? Because I can really use your help. And it's not, I hope Shirley sees my Facebook post. I hope she sees it. I hope she comes. And you show up on the day of your event. Oh, shucks, she didn't come. Oh, shucks, I said. She didn't come. Gotta pick up the phone. You gotta follow up and make sure. Nothing, this is something else to write down. Nothing is left to chance. Nothing is left to chance. And the top 5 mistakes most event hosts make, please be right into that. First mistake an event host usually make. They're over-optimistic on the turnout of attendees, and they book a venue beyond their means and their budget and the income flow that comes. I've seen that time and time again. They book something really extravagant, really expensive, thinking, oh, people will come. This is a great message. Everybody's going to come. They put out all the social media. They tell their friends. They tell their groups, come. And then they never followed up. They never made the phone calls needed to make sure they were coming. They didn't partner with groups and people on a partnership level. They show up and they're wondering why they're $20,000 in debt. How many people like that will continue to do events? And their event could have been great and really added value to the community. It just wasn't done right. And now you won't get one again. Because he or she is not going to be there. Okay? So don't overextend where you're going to have it. I did 3 months investigating phone calls before I selected the Hilton that I selected. I asked every question. Again, having my coach, I knew the questions to ask. And you're not talking things I would have never thought of. If I had tried to do this event on my own, I would have made every mistake first, then have to regroup, lost money, try again, maybe, probably not. But because I had a coach walking me through it, I knew, oh, you better ask if there's a charge to use the electricity. You better ask if your vendors start asking for extension cords. You better know that hotel's going to charge $25 a piece. There's things that I would have never thought of. So again, having a coach in any business helps bypass the mistakes that you don't have to make yourself. Because somebody else already knows that. I didn't know these things. And the Hilton just had the one-stop shop for me. There was a minimum on the ballroom, which is beautiful. So because I had a minimum on the ballroom, if I met and I had 150 people in that ballroom, the ballroom would be free. You're just paying for the meal, which my ticket paid for the meal and a little then some. What happened to me the 4 months before the summit? Every day. I didn't eat, sleep, or drink anything until I knew I'd met my quota for that day, selling a ticket. Not just going around with you, how many people on my event? Great. It's like how many tilting. My coach is on me every day. How many seats were sold? How many seats were sold? How many vendors? I have not done one yet for repeats yet. Now it's easier. I have repeats. Okay, and we're getting closer to the event. Again, I was at my goal. I was at 85. I was at 95. You cannot count on people buying at the door. Once you write down this number, and all 9, I've had 9 summits. Every single time, this number has been true. And if you don't embrace this, you'll be sorry when you have your event. 10 10% of the people that have paid to come as attendees, and that's not vendors and speakers, paid attendees will not show up, guaranteed. Sickness, flat tires, traffic, we've had accidents, we've had a death. Things happen. So overbook yourself, knowing that 10% won't be able to come for one reason or the other. Okay, so don't do your happy dance to your 10% here, but we want to pay. Okay. Number 2, they don't budget properly, and too many hosts have lost money not knowing all the many tiny expenses. I told you about that one. Number 3, expecting your friends and family to sell tickets to fill your event by word of mouth. Don't expect anybody to just do it for you. I want you to build strategic partners. Put down the number 10. Strategically partner with 10 fabulous women, men, like yourself, that share the same demographic as you. So you can be mutually beneficial to each other. And then have set goals. You can give them a reason. If you can give them a special code. They sell 10 tickets, 8 tickets, whatever. They get a free ticket or free booth or time on your stage. You have these agreements and have them in an email written out and follow up and revisit it constantly. Then you're having a great support system. Versus what a lot of people do, I'm having an event, hope you all come, and then you bombard social media, thinking everybody's going to see it and come. And then they don't show up. And that happens time and time again. But if you have strategic friends that say, how can I help you? You need to know how to answer that question. How can I help you? Okay, this is what I need. Now how can I help you? Mutual, we're great at that at eWomen. eWomen always shows up in spades in my summits. Even my first one, I didn't know how great it was going to be. Just showed up. So this is a great room to be in. Okay, the other thing I just said, expecting your speakers to fill the room. You get a keynote speaker, that's a big draw. That's a big draw for you to use to promote your summit. Let's just say you had Sarah Blakely, or you had somebody big, or Deborah, or Sarah Yancey. That's great, that adds value. But don't expect like Sarah Yancey, who's coming in from Texas, to bring her friends and fans. It's your job to say she'll be here, and you bring them in. Okay? Again,
This is how to contact her.
Because I got 4 more events this weekend. It's not their responsibility.
Thanks for joining.